Yes, I'm officially engaged. It's crazy.
What?
So by the end of 2020, Jeezy was knee-deep into this foolishness when he could have backed out. But hey, he kept moving forward. They got married in 2021, Jeannie gave birth to their first child together in 2022, and now in 2023, Jeezy filed for divorce and joint custody because he's tired of this lady already, and I could have told Jeezy this wasn't going to work, but anybody that said the relationship wasn't going to work was simply waved off as a hater.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Bridge Reacts, or the Bridge Between Us, however you want to put it. I am your host, I didn't say this last time, Marcus. Thank you for stopping by for another episode to the Bridge Reacts, where we talk about how to bridge the gap between men and women in the community, masculine and feminine roles, if you will, building community, building strong, lasting relationships, and decreasing divorce rates, because strong working class starts in the family unit, which they're trying to destroy actively. Subscribe, welcome. Today's topic, we are talking about very controversial, maybe, unless you already kind of know something like this. What qualities make a great wife? Don't worry, we're gonna make the opposite side of the coin of this next video, more than likely. But today's topic, what qualities make a great wife? So a great subject for this would be a few different people. We talked about, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith recently. Had a whole video on that. Our biggest video so far. Thank you so much if you've already checked it out and liked it and put some comments as well. We are talking today about Young Jeezy and Jeannie Mai. I don't know if you know about Jeannie Mai. I think she's on The View and a couple other, those gossip channels or whatever, right? And then Young Jeezy, come on now. I'll throw some ad-libs in here, maybe, if I'm not too lazy. He is well known in the hip-hop community. Great artist. He is imprinted in the game. We're going to talk a little bit about this from Pink Book Lessons. This is the creator. Please check out Pink Book Lessons channel. Great content. Always. We're going to just get straight to it. It's going to be a decent sized video. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. We'll go ahead and just get started on this. Throw in some examples. But this is real. This is a real topic because I think we've lost a lot of recognition of what we can celebrate, when it comes to characteristics and qualities of a great woman to wife. Just like I think even with men, great men to make your husband as well. Ladies, maybe you should look into that for the next episode as well. In my takes on it, character, having some kind of level-headedness, stoicism, stuff like that, we're going to throw into the mix. But once again, let me get back on subject. Let's go ahead and get straight to the video. Subscribe, hit the like button and the notification bell if you like the content. Let's do it.
All right, let's talk about it. Jeannie Mai and Jeezy. When I first saw these two together, I didn't take it seriously. Why? Because it just didn't make sense. Jeannie wasn't Jeezy's type, and Jeezy wasn't necessarily Jeannie's type either. I mean, it was years and years ago. She said that white meat is what kept her trim.
For me, dark meat on the side, white keeps me mean and lean. That's why
And that's been her thing forever, because she said that way back when Tamar Braxton was on the show. When Jeezy and Jeannie went public with their relationship in 2019.
Look at the swagger, first of all. I know I'm making a lot of reaction faces to like what they were just saying, sticking to the topic at hand, but they are kind of clean in this photo. It doesn't mean anything for the marriage, but
Those comments resurfaced then, causing a lot of criticism about their relationship. Jeezy responded in 2020, saying that they talked about her offensive comments and went around covering for her.
But before we even started dating, we had that conversation. First thing, when we really talked, she sat me down, she said, listen, it was something that I said, and it might have got taken out of context, and I want you to listen to it in its entirety. And I did. And I think you guys do journalism. Mm-hmm. You guys do it every day. People can take what they want. You know what I'm saying? And I know her people. I know her family. I ain't never felt no sense of racism. She comes from the Bay.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
She eats chitlins.
Right.
I mean, I'm just kind of stop it here for a second. I mean, that isn't just because someone comes from an area with a lot of black culture and a lot of black people doesn't mean that they can't be racist or say something kind of out of pocket. Like, would you want to be with someone that said comments like that about your race and says like, man, I only prefer the white meat to take home and the black meat on the side? Like, it's kind of weird. I don't know. Maybe you just saw something in her at the time, and Pink Book Lessons is going to talk a lot about this a little bit later on. Let's continue.
Knows some real, like she knows E40 better than me.
So Jeezy, he ignored that criticism in 2019. He proposed to Jeannie in the spring of 2020.
That's what's happening. As we're talking, I just want you to know, I flipped this
There are three faces on that panel that are just cringe. Marcus, throw an X on the screen for that. Amanda Seeley's absolutely not. Hold up. Let's go back. Yeah, Amanda Seeley's a dud. Absolutely not. She's a narcissistic, crazy person. We have, I think that's Tia Mowry. Well, we talked a little bit about Tia Mowry on the channel. She's a great representation of this video, this topic, ruining your marriage because you are not fulfilled anymore or something like that. Like, you know, to split your whole family apart and your children are still young and your husband wasn't cheating. He wasn't beating you or nothing like that. You just felt different and you didn't want to listen, or I don't know what her problem was. And then you have Jeannie Mai. So
talking, I just want you to know, I flipped this 3-week nail and I'm not about to I'm trying to keep it together for this ring, so I'm gonna glue my nail while I tell you this story. Yes, I'm officially engaged. It's crazy. What?
So by the end of 2020, Jeezy was knee deep into this foolishness when he could have backed out. But hey, he kept moving forward. They got married in 2021. Jeannie gave birth to their first child together in 2022. And now in 2023, Jeezy filed for divorce and joint custody because he's tired of this lady already. And I could have told Jeezy this wasn't going to work. But anybody that said the relationship wasn't going to work was simply waved off as a hater. The real reason why Jeezy dumped Jeannie Mai is because she's a disrespectful feminist. I was the first one to popularize the word chameleon, and I've been talking about chameleons.
She has been talking about the word chameleon. Shout out to Pink Book Lessons. A lady, she still had to explain it. Why am I explaining it?
One thing about them though, even a couple of years ago, every time I would highlight a chameleon, people will get so upset because they get fooled by the chameleon. That's how you know a chameleon is doing her job. Jeannie was definitely a chameleon. Yes, she made Jeezy think that she was a different woman from what she really was.
You know, I just think sometimes like people look for things in people, but at the same time, you got to know I'm a good judge of character and I'm not going to do nothing that's going to jeopardize my integrity. That's one of the first conversations we had.
That's fine.
Like, you different.
Like she was some.
That's the face I was making too. So I think she's gonna go a little bit deeper into it, but like, yeah, chameleon, as in like you portray yourself as this certain type of woman that men typically would look for, being a little bit more agreeable, more quote unquote submissive. Ugh, bad word. You know, just being more like friendly, being more feminine, being more, you know, with the program of like family and building and growing, learning, understanding versus doing whatever you want, being whatever you want at any time, being a loud cannon, just acting out, being disrespectful, emasculating your man, all the other stuff. The opposite of what you'll see. But that chameleon thing, I've experienced it myself. Just being with someone, it seems as though they are portraying themselves a certain way until, you know, you really get to the root of them, and then you start to see where the leaves blow in the wind.
A cool, down-to-earth, relaxed woman that was ready to be a submissive, nurturing wife.
So the actual definition of submit is to accept or yield to a superior force or to the authority or will of another person. So I'm gonna say right here that I, Jeannie Mai, going into my marriage, I want to submit to my man.
Jeannie was none of that, but she was held.
You want to, or you're going to? Like, I want to make this YouTube video. Well, I'm doing it now, so there's two different things. Like, that's a red flag right there, isn't it?
Held up as the model feminist turned submissive girlfriend and then wife for about a good 2 years, fooling everybody who thought Jeezy finally got a good one. Jeannie was never a good one. I'll tell you why, but first, take a second to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and click the notification bell for all updates.
Go ahead, subscribe.
Jeannie Mai was born and raised in San Jose, California. Jeannie was born in 1979, and her parents went on to have 2 more children after Jeannie. Money got even tighter for the family, so her mother had to pick up a second job to help pay bills. That took both of her parents out of the house most of the time because they both spent a lot of time working. Jeannie's mother got a younger family member to come over and watch Jeannie every day after school. Jeannie was 9 years old, and the male family member believed to be a cousin or close relative was 16 years old or 17. Jeannie really looked up to him, but at some point, he started tampering with Jeannie's innocence. This went on for years. as he convinced Jeannie not to tell her parents, convincing her that they will be angry at her.
Of course, we're just going to go ahead and put this in now. Completely, like, disgusting. This despicable, horrible, egregious thing. We're calling that out, of course. It doesn't mean that, you know, it justifies her actions and how, you know, everything else in this video, but that is horrible.
When she was 13 years old, she begged her mom to get another babysitter, but wouldn't tell her why. Obviously, something really bad was going on, and her mother ignored the signs from her daughter. By the time she turned 16, Jeannie revealed what had been going on for years with this family member. She told her mom what happened, but her mother did not believe her, which caused a big blow up between the mother and daughter, resulting in...
That could be a video, like, on its own one day. Sorry I keep stopping it, but I'm gonna let it play. But, like, you should definitely believe your children when they say stuff like this. If they're coming from a place and, like, children know to a degree, really, like, if something's really not right with it, especially with an adult outside the family, inside the family, whatever. You should probably take that in consideration. Something you can't just deny and just, like, believe the adults every time. That's children can lie, but it's like, man, that's horrible.
And Jeannie leaving the house at only 16 years old, and she didn't see or speak to her mom for 9 years. Jeannie didn't talk to her mom again until she was almost 25 years old. Where did Jeannie go when she left home, and how did she survive from 1995 at 16 years old for 2 years until she became an adult? That part is unclear. While she was a traveling makeup artist, her parents went into complete breakdown. Her father divorced her mother because he got tired of her mother's nasty attitude towards him.
I don't get along with my father, so anytime I upset my father, I pick on you, I pick on father.
You were very hot-tempered.
Yeah, I got hot temper all the time. Anytime.
Sounds like we are finding a pattern and a trend here. Let's keep watching.
I cooking something or he say something, I just fight back, almost like my father do that to my mom. You know, we fight too much.
Are you saying you were different than how you are now?
100% different.
Pass
Right now,
down.
I'm easy and I'm a soft girl and I'm nice girl. Before, I'm just like a tiger, you know.
Let me just say this. Mama Mai, she's very opinionated, strong-willed, outspoken. But you imagine this times 500,000 more intensity back then. Still fabulous and fun to the public, but at home,
Yeah, me and
very quick to get angry. Fought with my dad almost every night.
anytime when my mom upset, she call me, she tell me. She doesn't do anything, so it's
To be fair, we don't know how all those fights started, conversations, how the father was, to be fair, but the information we're getting from the horse's mouth, not trying to be disrespectful, from their mouth, right? They're saying that she was really, you know, so...
bother me. Your father come home and then I pick on your father. It's always like that. Keep circle like that.
Why didn't you stop yourself when you saw yourself being that way?
At that time, I don't feel like myself anyway.
Do you think your hot temper is the only reason why you and dad didn't work out?
Not only that, I'm more control, more demand. I'm successful and I don't need the man in my life.
Jeannie still wasn't speaking to her mother when her father left her, but the mother and daughter reconnected when Jeannie started hosting local television shows. She was tired of being behind the scenes and realized that she wanted a spot in front of the camera. She landed a hosting gig for a new talk show that copied The View. That show was called The Real. It premiered in 2013. On that show, Jeannie was very opinionated. She had been married to her husband Freddie for about 6 years before getting that job. Freddie married Jeannie when she was a struggling TV host, but when she got the job with The Real, her money changed. She also gained more recognition and visibility as the show was popular with young female viewers.
That's another trend too. We can kind of, you know, touch on a little bit. Like, you're at a certain level, right? And then you start to elevate. Does that mean that you can now start belittling and disrespecting your partner? In this case, your man, right? Especially if someone's been supporting you, but then all of a sudden you got your own big deal. You start doing really well. You elevate. Does that mean that now you are entitled to not be a great wife to him? You can now belittle. You can now act different and start talking down on, start belittling, start acting like Jeannie's mom's mother to her father. Answer's no.
That's where she made her infamous dark meat comments.
But for me, dark meat on the side, white keeps me mean and lean. You know, that's why I married white man.
Then one day, Jeannie revealed that she and Freddie had problems in their relationship. He wanted to have children, and she didn't. The couple ended up breaking up after 10 years of marriage in 2017. Freddie quickly moved on to a new woman who wanted to have his children. She popped out 2 of his kids right away, and they got married, living an outdoor type of lifestyle, taking care of their farm, and you didn't hear much from Freddie.
The peaceful, nice, and quiet family life. No problems, no distractions, no the real, no worldly, just stupid stuff that just throws you off track. Wow, this just sounds so calming, you know? And then you have this, right?
About having to pay him alimony and told everybody on the show.
Shocking thing slapped me in the face when we divorced, and I had to end up paying him my earning.
That clip was also shared on the Real's IG page, and Lindsay, Freddie's new wife, she hopped under the comments going off. Lindsay said to Jeannie, "Your complete focus on yourself is why you're divorced. Yourself being the most important thing to you in the entire world is why you keep making up lies for more attention." Then Lindsay went on her IG stories and she wrote, "Ratings must be down again." We heard from Freddie and Lindsay once again in 2021 when Jeannie announced that she was expecting her first child with Jeezy.
That's really interesting. You were married to their first husband for like 6 to 10 years. And you never wanted a kid, but then when you just finally, and you said you like white men, right? And I guess black men was your little side thing, you like a side piece of black man. But then you finally marry this black man, and you have his kid right away. And was the biological clock ticking? Like, what changed? I wonder. I don't know. Interesting. I just think something to bring up.
Freddie responded to a comment where
Does she ever wanted to be a mother and have that family life, or does she always want to have a man or a husband as an accessory to her? Because I personally think that's another thing that doesn't make a great wife. If you just want to get married for the fact of having a husband in a ring, and then your husband is an accessory to you and your lifestyle, is weird. That's not what it's supposed to be. That is it's a setup for failure. Unless you just have some dude that just, he wants to be accessory to you, and then would you really respect him and be with him long term and love him? Probably not. But you can tell me in the comments.
Where someone wondered how he felt about Jeannie being pregnant when she was with him for 10 years and refused to get pregnant. You know, Freddie wanted babies. Freddie responded saying he, quote, upgraded from trash to treasure a long time ago. Really messy, but it made people wonder why.
It's petty to say these things and go back and forth. Just like keep it classy. At the end of the day, like life happens. Just keep moving. Like it sounds like you're already moving in a great trajectory. You have your family, your kids, your wife that actually is being a wife to you. So it's like, let it go.
She admitted that he was such a great husband, and she told everyone she was in love with him. And then it's like she rushed to have a baby with Jeezy when they got together. Jeannie made it seem like Jeezy made her so comfortable and she was in such a great place. But let's be honest, it was Jeezy's money and status, along with her age, that made her rush to have this baby. Jeannie got pregnant before they got married. It was like she was trying to trap Jeezy. Jeannie was 39 when the divorce was clear, and she didn't have any time to wait.
39. Oh, the clock is ticking.
She had to find the richest sucker who would wife her, and that sucker was Jeezy. She made everyone believe that after living as a non-traditional wife to Freddie, that she was automatically going to flip on the femininity switch at the big age of 40 and become a submissive wife. Oh, Jeannie became a desperate chameleon. As I've been saying for years now, femininity is not a light switch.
Nope.
You can't cut it on and off. And
You either are or you're not. That's real. And I know some people personally, I'm not going to put their names out there. Even some family members, I'm not going to put their names out there. That it's just like you're trying to be what you're not. And it's like, just be yourself. If you're not that, if you're not more of a feminine woman who can be more agreeable, submissive, and not the way of saying you're like some kind of like slave to somebody and you give up everything, but like in understanding that they can be a head and a neck. Alpha, Omega, CEO, Vice President, knowing that two alphas, two head honchos, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't really work. It doesn't coexist the way you would prefer it to do. This is even Jay-Z and Beyonce. A lot of y'all want to use that as an example. I bet you if you ask Beyonce, she said, oh no, Jay-Z is the head. Simple. That's fine. And they're both bosses in their own merit. Yes, Beyonce's a boss. She's the queen bee, but at the same time, she understands she's with a man that she respects and loves. That's why she married him. And she can put herself in that neck position and understand that he is the head. It's that simple. She doesn't take all that boss behavior to the household. Maybe she does that on the stage and she is phenomenal for that. I'm going on a tangent. But when she goes home, she knows what it is. Respectfully. That's supposed to be a healthy thing. Just like I'm trying to think about. Great example of what I would consider an amazing wife. I'd say Denzel's wife. Keeps all the stuff out of the media. They might have their own problems back in the day, apparently, allegedly, but keeps all that stuff out of the media and just sticks to the family unit, right? Building, growing, learning, healing. LeBron James's wife. I don't know if any rumors or anything like that, but she is always in the background taking care of the family, being there and supporting of the husband as well. She probably has her own stuff too on the side, which is dope, but it's like she's not out here, to a degree, no disrespect to Aisha Curry, but like, kind of like starting up controversy and wanting attention from other men, all this weird stuff. It's like, just, I know we don't like roles or playing parts, but it's like, just do, like, if he's going to go out there and do his thing, you can do something in your side as well.
Nothing cooperative and submissive about Jeannie ever. But I do believe Jeannie was lying and saying whatever she could to hurry and seal the deal. I'll tell you, being Jeezy's wife wasn't hard. She was still allowed to focus on her career and business ventures. He supported that. She didn't have to cook like that for real. She said she knew how to cook. She said that she didn't really know how to cook what Jeezy liked to eat. So basically, her cooking was useless if she couldn't cook what her husband liked.
And that's the thing too. Like, apparently, like, this is, I don't know all the ins and outs. I know a good amount from all the stuff that's been coming out recently, but he never cheated on her. He never disrespected her from what we know of. She even came out and said like he never like abused her. She literally said it was like the way that she acted, and she had a hard time changing. So like Pink Book Lessons even just said, like, was very supportive of your own career because you're a career driven woman. He was supportive of that, and he was respectful to you, didn't hurt you, he wanted a family with you. So it's like he did all these right things. He's a successful man with a good reputation, makes money. Why ruin this? Just like Tia Mowry, allegedly, of all that stuff with that guy. Why ruin it? Because you want to live a certain lifestyle of what social media tells you, that you need to be this boss babe or whatever, and then like you have an accessory, a ring on your finger, and I just have a husband. Yeah, he does, and blah blah blah. It's like, you might as well just have a boyfriend or something. Why get married? Why have a family in this case? Like, I don't understand. But to each his own.
But word is Jeezy ended the marriage over disagreements on family values and expectations. Number one, Jeannie's mama. She's been living with Jeezy and Jeannie the whole time. And sorry, but that's a problem.
Yeah.
I don't know about men of other cultures, family born in America, especially a black man. They can be cool with their mother-in-law, but being in the same house is going to cause problems.
Especially if you have a mother-in-law that's like that's very controlling, or she feels like things have to go by her book. She's kind of manipulative. Like, that's not going to work. I don't see that ever working or coexisting. Like, and then of course you want to defend your mother because she's been there for you, or she wasn't there for you for a long time. She disrespected you, didn't believe you when you were telling her about your alleged assault. But then again, hey, she's back in your life when you're successful. But, whatever.
Especially if she's anything like Jeannie's mama. Disrespectful and out of order. Jeannie is exactly who she is because of her mama. She is just like that lady. See how Jeannie's dad had to leave her mama over her disrespect, and now Jeezy is leaving Jeannie for the same thing, and quiet as it's kept, that's the same reason why Freddie left Jeannie too. The man married her. He was her husband. I'm talking about Freddie now. She did not give him that baby that he wanted. After all of those years, Freddie saw Jeannie as disrespectful.
Well, to be fair, like, did y'all discuss that before the marriage, Freddie? If I'm trying to, play devil's advocate and keep it real, like, why would you marry someone who you want to have a family with, but then she said she didn't want kids, unless she lied and said she would, and then she didn't, backtracked during the marriage? And that's also a chameleon thing, right? You promise things, false promises, and then you finally get the ring, and now I have an accessory marriage. I have this man, blah, blah, blah. I'm married now. Huh? And it's like now you're just retracting everything that you've done, backpedaling, And that's also gross. That's a terrible thing to do. But I think we've gotten pretty far in this video. I have to edit this. But main thing, my final thoughts, right? Qualities and characteristics that would make a great wife. And you can tell me what you think in the comment section. But I mean, just being a lot more, honest, being real, not being a chameleon. There's a big thing right there. Like when it comes to just like I said, the whole submissive thing, like we want to get deep into this, right? My personal, everyone to each his own. We're not changing definitions of words. My understanding of it is that just being much more agreeable, being someone who is able to surrender that kind of strong willingness and wanting to be on top and get the last say to someone who you trust and respect, that you know that they have the right state of mind to make that call. What's right for you, what's right for them and the family. If you understand that you respect them, then maybe you should allow them to, be that head, that alpha, that person that is leading. Do you really want to be someone who leads the family? Do you want a man that you're leading? Would you respect him? That's the whole point. Once again, those are just my thoughts. And I think Tia Mowry, I think Jeannie Ma, I think Jada Pinkett Smith. I think there's a few other examples of just these ladies that it seems like they have this great man, that they don't have a lot of things, bad, like negative things to talk about, but yet it failed. And it seems like there is a lowest common denominator of being this individual who is the exact opposite of who you were telling this your partner you were going to be like originally. That's what it seems like. But these are all bad qualities. Don't be a Jeannie Ma. Don't be a Tia Mowry. Don't be a Jada Pinkett. Please, don't be a Jada Pinkett Smith. Don't be any of those if you expect to have a long-lasting marriage, or at least go the distance. Because this little kid didn't deserve having you two play house for 2 years and then splitting apart. Like that little kid, I'm sure they're gonna be fine because both your parents are millionaires, but still, it's not a good look. But hey, those are my thoughts. You guys can tell me yours in the comment section. I just think that on this side of the coin, when we're talking about the lady, the wife, versus we're going to talk about the husband next, don't worry. But on this side of the coin, it could be all just that simple. Stop listening to a lot of the BS that goes around here and telling women of how they should just be this, I guess, Rihanna, and men should be an ASAP Rocky. No disrespect to ASAP. But it's just that weird energy of just like, would you really want, how long does that last? How long would that go for? If you really, I think I've said enough. Please subscribe, check out the Pink Book Lessons Instagram, YouTube channel. Please check them out. Once again, great content. Please subscribe and check out our videos, notification bell as well. But thank you again for checking out another episode of the Bridge Reacts. And you guys have a nice one. Be safe. Happy Thanksgiving. It's going to drop right before or the day of Thanksgiving. So family, we love to see y'all together. And you and your family, if you're playing this with the family there, happy Thanksgiving. If not, you can still like the video if you want to by yourself. It's cool. I'll be safe. Take care. See ya.